Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. I'm trying to free your mind.
Oh boy, the police. You either love them or hate them. They can either save your life or ruin your life, or possibly do both at the same time if you're really unlucky. But what if you decided one day, I'm in an emergency, I need to call the police, I'm going to call 911, and you hope that you get one of the most efficient and nicest police officers that help solve your problem, but instead you get a drone. Police drones responding to 911 calls in Colorado? This is really the future of law enforcement. Denver police and other front range agencies planning to deploy remote controlled aircraft as first responders. Picture this: you call 911 and a drone comes whirring to your door instead of a police officer. That could soon be a reality along parts of Colorado's Front Range. A handful of local law enforcement agencies are considering using drones as first responders. That is, sending them to respond to 911 calls as police departments across Colorado continue to widely embrace the use of remote-controlled flying machines. Sergeant Jeremiah Gates says this is really the future of law enforcement at some point, whether we like it or not. And he leads the drone unit at the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. Now, Front Range Police Department, Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office, they already use drones to help search for missing people. They like to map out crime or crash scenes, and they use it for overhead surveillance or tracking fleeing suspects. But now they want to use the 20 drones they have to respond to specific 911 calls, sending them both instead of officers and ahead of officers. So the idea is that the remote control drone would be flown to the location of the incident. It scopes out the area and then streams live video back to the drone operator. And then the drone operator can provide quick, detailed information to other officers in the area, and tell them what's going on. Or the drone might be the sole response to the actual call and determine if it's something that can be resolved without officers altogether. Now that could really slow down some false tips, or it could be some positive tips that are identified incorrectly by 911 operators, and they send a drone out thinking that it's going to be a peaceful situation. It's very possible that people make certain calls under duress, and they may not necessarily be able to tell, and they send a drone instead of an actual unit, and that crazy person or whatever shoots that drone out of the sky, and the person that's actually made the call may be in a position where they can't necessarily defend themselves. It could be worse. Now, this to me seems pretty practical, where a drone could be flown to a reported broken traffic light and stream video of the signal back to its operator, who could determine whether the light is working properly, and then they could take the next steps without ever sending an officer to physically to the scene. I think it would be pretty cool if they had a broken tail light that they could possibly mount some type of like makeshift traffic light on the drone and keep it there for a suspended amount of time until they get it fixed. I think that could be helpful. The biggest practical use, I say, like I said, is identifying danger. I don't know if it's the best idea to de-escalate danger, but to identify somebody breaking into a house, or helping somebody following a foot chase, or even if somebody has, potential mental health issues and possible suicidal thoughts, finding that person using a drone is probably more ideal. As if you have limited manpower, resources, and foot officers that can patrol the area, I can see a drone being used to find somebody. But if you're sending a drone to solve a problem, I'm not entirely sure how effective that would be. Now, this critic of flying drones to certain areas says that this could shift the long-standing over-policing of communities of color to the skies. We know that there's a problem with people reporting black people doing normal, everyday things. Here we go. as if there is something suspicious going on. So sending out a drone for any time there is a 911 call, it can be dangerous and lead to more over policing of communities of color. There's also just the risk that the more we normalize having drones in the skies, the more it can really affect behavior on a massive scale. And we are just looking up and seeing drones all over the place, knowing that police are watching us. Now, I don't know about this Maraf person here, but they don't need drones to watch you. They've been watching you for a long time. And these wonderful little smartphones we have in our hands, they don't necessarily need drones to follow us around. But I will say in some areas, I think that it would be a lot more welcoming to see a drone flying overhead if you just mind your business versus seeing cops on every corner tracking everything you do. But again, it just depends on the situation, in my opinion. Now, looking into more potentially practical uses of drones in police, Loveland Police Sergeant Brian Bartness, who runs his department's drone program, said a drone could potentially deliver an automated external defibrillator to a patient several minutes before first responders arrive. It said the largest drone can carry a load up to 16 pounds. But he said that the agency has not yet taken steps towards launching the flying craft as first responders. Yeah, no. I would like a human, please, to operate the defibrillator. Please and thank you. I understand that there's an urgency if somebody's hurt, but I want to see somebody with actual hands-on touching something, or at least a family member. If he's trying to shock me back to life, I don't want no freaking robot flying down and seeing my family member. If I'm in that situation, I want a real human, but that's just me. But Colorado police departments are the only one that have been flirting with this idea. Chula Vista, California, drones have been dispatched instead of officers to more than 4,000 calls since 2018, allowing officers to avoid going to these calls altogether. Now, you can take that as saving resources and manpower, or you can also take this as, are these officers getting proper training eventually to deal with these situations in the long run? That's up to you. Obviously, they've already gotten that training beforehand, but if we're just putting officers in certain situations to avoid, at some point, do we talk about how much officers we need? Do we still need them in certain situations? Are they just going to be reassigned to other areas? That's interesting to see going forward. But according to Chula Vista Police, they said that the drone calls respond in just under 4 minutes on average, while officers arrived in about 7 minutes. According to the city's published stats, on less urgent calls, drones reached the scene in under 5 minutes, while officers took more than 11 minutes. Now, things like these, privacy is the name of the game. Obviously, they need to be as transparent as possible with the people about how long these drones are in the air, what are they looking for, how quickly they respond, are they shredding this data? Let's say they get a false tip on a call. Are they deleting this data? Are they using it to train? Or is some AI technology involved with some of these drones? Do these pilots know how to properly dispose of certain calls, how to properly handle private video footage, especially if something is a scene of a crime? That's something that I would like to know. And that's how they handle some of the data of all of these drones in these different police departments. But Chula Vista Police Department says that they post maps of its drone flights with details about the location, time, and type of call the drones responded to, and the drone footage is subject to the same public record release laws and storage retention as officers' body-worn camera footage. The city also relies on technology and privacy task force made up of residents and experts to guide its drone use. So that doesn't sound as bad as I thought it would. But as the article says, here is Chula Vista Police Department's drone data from June 2024, which is about the time this video is recorded, up until April of 2021. And it's showing, at least for the month of June here, we have 17 flights. So we can see the different areas in the Chula Vista area that these drones flew at. We can see the location, how far they flew, the time. Case, it shows the location, the summary, what happened, a vehicle. In this case here, it says that a vehicle was stolen. Here was a person acting suspicious, so somebody called the cops. They saw some weird stuff going on. This was a domestic violence call, and again, it just shows you the distance, the time, and the route traveled by the drone to get to the reported call. So I think that's pretty cool that they keep this option public. If other police departments in the future go with this, hopefully they do the same. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Are y'all ready for drone police? Are y'all ready for the drone police army to be patrolling the skies and responding to all your first calls? Does this make you more wary of the police, more trustworthy of the police? Are you concerned that there will be less police officers in the street? Do you want to eliminate so much technology and just focus on interacting with the people? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're watching this on Rumble, Odyssey, or YouTube, greatly appreciate it. Thank you and take care.